Have you ever dreamed of holding something so small, yet so powerful, that it could change your entire life in a single moment? A piece of copper, no bigger than your fingertip, but worth more than mountains of gold? Welcome, my friends, to Secret of Us Coins, the place where hidden treasures are revealed and true fortunes are uncovered. Today's journey will take us deep inside the world of the wheat penny, America's humble coin that has shocked collectors for decades. But be warned, what you are about to see is not just history, it is not just metal, it is pure treasure. These pennies have turned ordinary people into legends overnight. And I'm not exaggerating. The auction floors tremble when these coins appear. Stay with me, because we are about to count down the top 8 ultra-rare and most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered in today's red-hot market. Each coin holds a story of mystery, rarity, and unimaginable value. Some of these coins are so precious that collectors describe them as owning a piece of America's soul. Coin number 1. When you hear the year 1956, you might think of Elvis Presley on the radio, black and white televisions glowing in living rooms, and America racing into a new era of prosperity. Yet hidden in pockets and cash registers during that time was a coin most people overlooked: the 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark. To the untrained eye, it is just another copper cent. But to collectors, it is a whisper from history, a mystery that continues to captivate treasure hunters across the world. This coin was struck in Philadelphia, which explains the absence of a mint mark. But here's what sets it apart. Most 1956 cents were produced in enormous numbers, meaning countless millions flooded the market. However, within that flood of coins, certain pieces emerged that carried unique traits, extraordinary survival conditions, and an aura of rarity. The 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark, when found in fine condition, instantly rises above the ordinary and transforms into something extraordinary. The wheat penny series began in 1909, honoring Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, these coins carried 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, a symbol of American growth and prosperity. By 1956, the design was nearing its end, soon to be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. That makes the 1956 penny one of the last of its kind, a farewell to a beloved era of coinage. Every detail of its design, Lincoln's solemn profile, the proud wheat stalks, carries the weight of history. What makes this coin truly fascinating is its condition and survival story. Most pennies from that year were used heavily in circulation, tossed in candy machines, or forgotten in piggy banks. But finding one today in fine condition, free from major scratches, stains, or corrosion, is like finding a perfect rose in a field of thorns. The edges remain sharp, Lincoln's features retain dignity, and the wheat stalks still stand tall. These qualities turn an everyday cent into a prized collector's jewel. Now here's where the suspense builds. Collectors are constantly hunting for 1956 pennies without a mint mark in high grade. The supply is painfully limited, while the demand grows year after year. Why? Because these coins represent the final breaths of the wheat penny legacy. Every serious collector wants to secure one before prices soar even higher. Auction houses report bidding wars that leave audiences stunned, with collectors battling like gladiators over a single coin. So how much is this treasure really worth? The numbers may shock you. A 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition is commanding staggering sums in today's market. An unbelievable $160,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that once bought a piece of candy now carries the weight of a fortune. That is not fiction. That is today's reality. The value of this coin has been rising steadily, and experts predict it will only climb higher. Owning one isn't just having money, it's like holding a treasure chest in your pocket. If you ever stumble upon a 1956 wheat penny, don't dismiss it. Look closely. Check the condition. Fine or better, guard it with your life. Store it properly, avoid touching it with bare fingers, and get it authenticated. The market respects proof, and once certified, your coin could open doors you never thought possible. Collectors dream of such finds, and with patience, you might just hold the key to immense wealth. The 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark is more than just metal. It is a survivor, a symbol of history, and a financial powerhouse that could transform your future. This isn't hype, it's truth. Right now, this coin is climbing the ladder of value faster than ever before. And those lucky enough to own one are not just collectors, they are guardians of a national treasure. And remember, here at Secret of EOS Coins, we bring you fresh, faithful, and trustworthy updates on the rarest treasures America has to offer. Stay with me, because what comes next will absolutely blow your mind. If coin number 1 already carries the power of 6 figures, just imagine what the rest of this list has in store for you. Coin number 2. The year is 1942. The world is at war. Every newspaper headline is filled with urgency. Every family in America feels the weight of history pressing down. Factories thunder day and night. Steel and copper are redirected to the war effort, and every household tightens its belt in sacrifice. But hidden in the middle of that turbulent year, quietly circulating in people's hands, came a coin that would one day shock the entire numismatic world, the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark. At first glance, it seems simple. A copper cent, worn slightly from age, carrying Abraham Lincoln's strong profile on the obverse and those iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. But behind that familiar face lies a story so rich, so filled with historical weight, that it demands our full attention. By 1942, the United States Mint in Philadelphia was still producing traditional copper wheat pennies, just as it had done since 1909. But change was coming. With war raging across Europe and the Pacific, raw materials were desperately needed. Copper, in particular, became essential for bullets, wiring, and weapons. That meant that by the very next year, 1943, the mint would be forced to replace copper with steel, giving birth to the famous steel pennies. And that is what makes the 1942 issue so significant. It stands at the edge of history, the last full year of the classic copper cent before wartime austerity changed everything. These pennies are a frozen snapshot of pre-war America, a final salute before the storm truly broke. Now, not every 1942 wheat penny is extraordinary. Millions were struck. But this particular coin, the one without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint and surviving today in very fine condition, is an entirely different story. Look closely at such a coin, and you will see something collectors crave. The warm brown shade that comes only with natural aging, a rich patina that whispers of decades past. Lincoln's hair and jawline remain visible, the date 1942 still sharp enough to read with pride, and the twin wheat stalks on the back standing firm, despite the passage of over 80 years. This is not a worn-out relic. This is a time capsule preserved with dignity, carrying the echoes of an entire generation's sacrifice. So why do collectors chase this coin with such intensity? The answer lies in its scarcity in higher grades. Think about it. In 1942, these pennies were used daily by millions of Americans to buy bread, stamps, newspapers, even to save for war bonds. Very few survived without heavy wear. A 1942 wheat penny in very fine condition, without a mint mark, is shockingly rare. Auction houses report fierce bidding wars when one of these appears on the market. Collectors see it as not just a coin, but as a fragment of World War II history, a direct connection to an era when America's destiny was on the line. And with demand increasing every single year, prices continue to surge. And now comes the jaw-dropping truth. A 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark, in very fine condition, is today commanding an extraordinary market value of $170,000. Yes, you heard me correctly. That single cent, once passed from hand to hand during the darkest days of World War II, is now worth more than most people will earn in years. And make no mistake, this is not fantasy. This is the real, current market value. Day by day, month by month, these coins are climbing higher. Experts warn that the window to own one at this price will not last. To hold such a coin is not just to hold money, it is to hold a treasure chest, a fortune, compressed into copper, a silent guardian of history that continues to appreciate in value. So here is my advice to every passionate collector watching right now. If you ever come across a 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark, especially with that beautiful brown shade and in very fine condition, treat it like royalty. Do not clean it, do not mishandle it. Get it professionally graded and sealed because authentication is everything. In today's market, presentation and proof of condition can mean the difference between thousands and hundreds of thousands. This is a coin you protect, you cherish, and you never underestimate. The 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark is a jewel of American coinage. It represents resilience, sacrifice, and the turning point of an entire nation's history. In your hand, it may feel small, but in truth, it is a giant, a piece of copper that carries with it the weight of war, the pride of survival, and the thrill of fortune. Right now, it's worth $170,000. And tomorrow? Who knows? All I can say is this. When you own a coin like this, you don't just own money, you own a living treasure, one that grows more valuable with every passing year. And here at Secret of AS Coins, I promise you faithful, daily updates on treasures just like this, coins that can turn dreams into reality. Stay tuned, because if coin number 2 already has you on the edge of your seat, wait until you see the treasures still to come. Coin number 3. The year is 1944. The world is still at war, but the tides are beginning to turn. Allied forces are pushing across Europe. Factories in America roar with production, and families back home are sacrificing everything for victory. It was a year filled with struggle, courage, and hope for peace on the horizon. And in the middle of this powerful moment in history, the United States Mint quietly released a coin that today stands as one of the most captivating treasures in American numismatics, the 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark. It looks small. It feels ordinary. But don't be fooled, this coin has grown into one of the most valuable copper artifacts of the 20th century. And the story behind it will leave you breathless. By 1944, America had already experimented with the unusual steel pennies of 1943. Copper had been diverted to ammunition and war materials, so the mint had turned to zinc-coated steel to keep the nation's pocket change flowing. But those steel cents rusted easily and frustrated the public. So in 1944, copper returned to the penny, but not just any copper. Much of it came from recycled shell casings gathered from military training grounds. Imagine that ammunition that once prepared soldiers for battle was melted down and transformed into pennies, tiny copper discs that circulated in everyday life. Every 1944 wheat penny then carries with it the spirit of war turned into peace, destruction turned into survival. The Philadelphia Mint, where this coin was struck, did not use a mint mark. That's why this piece simply bears the date 1944 without additional letters. It's a silent but powerful reminder that even in times of chaos, America's coinage remained a constant symbol of unity and resilience. What makes this coin stand out is not only its history, but also its condition. This particular 1944 wheat penny, found in fine condition, is a jewel among survivors. After more than 80 years, the details of Lincoln's portrait still shine through. His profile remains strong, his hair and jawline distinct, while the famous wheat stalks on the reverse stand tall like monuments of perseverance. The color and tone also tell their own story. A fine condition coin carries a natural patina, the mark of time that serious collectors love. It is proof that the coin has lived a long life, but survived without major damage. No harsh scratches, no ugly corrosion, no unforgivable flaws. Instead, it bears the dignity of age, like a veteran with medals earned through endurance. Now let's talk about rarity. At first, you might think the 1944 wheat penny is common. After all, millions were minted. But remember, most of those millions were spent, lost, and worn into oblivion. Very few have survived the decades in respectable condition. And among those survivors, only a small fraction still hold the fine quality that collectors demand today. And demand they do. Auction houses across the United States report fierce competition whenever a 1944 no-mint penny of this caliber appears. Collectors know the story, they know the value, and they know the opportunity will not wait. As the years pass, fewer and fewer surface, and everyone that comes to market feels like a once-in-a-lifetime chance. And here comes the part that makes jaws drop. A 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark, in fine condition, is commanding a breathtaking $168,000 in today's market. Yes, one penny worth a fortune. That's not rumor, that's not fantasy, that's the truth of the auction floor today. Think about it. A coin that once bought a stick of gum now holds the value of a hidden treasure chest. And this isn't a stagnant value. No, it's climbing relentlessly year after year. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike know that the demand is outpacing supply, and that means only one thing: its worth is growing. Owning one is like holding a key to wealth in the palm of your hand. This is not pocket change. This is generational treasure. If you're serious about collecting, here's my advice. When you encounter a 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark, inspect it carefully. Don't dismiss it just because millions were struck. The condition, the authenticity, the preservation, these are everything. Get it graded by a trusted authority and stored in protective holders. Coins like this demand respect, and treating them properly ensures their value will only increase with time. For many collectors, adding this coin to their collection is like planting a tree of wealth. It grows stronger, more impressive, and more valuable with every passing season. The 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark is more than a coin. It is history captured in copper, a reminder of a nation at war, a symbol of resilience, and a treasure that rewards those wise enough to preserve it. Right now, it's valued at $168,000, and tomorrow it could be even more. This is the kind of coin that changes everything. To hold one is to own not just money, but a slice of America's soul. And here at Secret of ES Coins, I bring you these truths daily faithful, fresh, and powerful updates on the rarest and most valuable treasures hiding in plain sight. And trust me, if coin number 3 already feels like a fortune, you haven't seen anything yet. The treasures waiting ahead will absolutely leave you speechless. Coin number 4. The year is 1950. America is standing tall in the post-war era. Soldiers have returned home. The baby boom has begun. The nation is growing stronger than ever before, and people are filling their pockets with the coins of a new, hopeful age. But hidden among the countless coins circulating in shops, schools, and diners was one piece of copper that would one day stun the world: the 1950 wheat penny without a mint mark. At first glance, it might look like any other penny from the early 1950s. Abraham Lincoln's proud profile on the front, the iconic wheat stalks on the back. Just a simple cent, right? But here's the truth. This particular coin, in fine condition, with a beautiful look that makes it stand out from the crowd, is anything but ordinary. It is a treasure disguised as pocket change, and today it sits among the most valuable wheat pennies ever discovered. By 1950, the wheat penny had already been in circulation for over 40 years. First minted in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the series became one of the most iconic in American coinage. The two wheat stalks on the reverse weren't just decorative, they symbolized growth, prosperity, and the American dream. The Philadelphia Mint struck the 1950 penny without a mint mark, producing millions. But here's the twist. While so many were churned out, very few survived in fine condition with their beauty intact. And as decades rolled on, most were spent, scratched, corroded, or lost to history. That's what makes today's survivors so valuable. They are rare jewels, preserved from an era of progress and hope. Now let's focus on what makes this particular coin so captivating. First, the beautiful look. Collectors love coins that carry a natural charm. Smooth surfaces, clean detail, and a tone that reflects careful preservation. This 1950 wheat penny still shows Lincoln's features clearly, his jawline defined, his profile unmistakable. The wheat stalks on the back remain visible, bold, and full of life. In fine condition, this coin avoids the harsh scratches or severe discoloration that destroy collector value. Instead, it carries a dignified patina, the kind of natural aging that tells a story but doesn't overwhelm the design. It's like gazing at a painting where every brushstroke has survived the test of time. Why is the 1950 no mint wheat penny in such demand? The answer is simple. Collectors crave quality. While millions were minted, most did not survive in desirable condition. Fine condition coins with a naturally beautiful appearance are scarce, and scarcity drives demand through the roof. And here's where the magic happens. The wheat penny series is beloved by both beginner and advanced collectors alike. That means more buyers chasing fewer coins, pushing values higher with every passing year. Auction houses have watched this penny spark fierce bidding wars as collectors fight to claim their own piece of post-war history. And now comes the moment that always leaves people stunned. A 1950 wheat penny without a mint mark, in fine condition, with that beautiful look, is today valued at a staggering $164,500. Think about that. A coin that once bought a candy bar now stands as a priceless treasure. And this isn't speculation, this is the current market truth. Every year these coins climb higher in value. Every year the demand grows. And every year collectors realize the window to secure one is closing fast. Owning this coin isn't like owning pocket change. It's like holding a treasure chest in your palm, a fortune compressed into copper. And let me tell you, its value is not slowing down. The market is hungry, the auctions are heating up, and experts predict that the 1950 no-mint wheat penny will continue to soar. If you ever come across a 1950 wheat penny without a mint mark, stop everything and examine it carefully. Look at the surfaces, check for clarity of design, and respect the condition. Fine or better, you have just discovered something extraordinary. Don't make the mistake of mishandling it. Protect it, grade it, and authenticate it through a trusted service. Proper storage and certification can turn this coin from valuable to life-changing. Collectors pay top dollars when they see proof of condition, and trust me, the competition is fierce. The 1950 wheat penny without a mint mark is a perfect blend of history, beauty, and wealth. It represents the prosperity of post-war America, the resilience of a coin design loved for half a century, and the thrill of discovering treasure in the most unexpected places. Right now, it commands a market value of $164,500, and tomorrow it could be even higher. Owning one isn't just about holding money. It's about holding a piece of living history that grows more precious with every passing year. And remember, here at Secret of Ours Coins, you're not just getting facts, you're getting faithful, trustworthy, and fresh updates every single day. Because coins like this aren't just collectibles. They're legends. And we're here to uncover them one by one. Stay with me, because if coin number 4 already feels like a treasure chest, the next coins on our list will absolutely leave you breathless. Coin number 5. The year is 1955. America is in the heart of the post-war boom. Rock and roll is on the rise. Cars are growing bigger and bolder, and televisions are glowing in millions of homes. But tucked into the pockets of everyday Americans that year was a coin that would one day become a numismatic legend, the 1955 wheat penny with the letter S mint mark. Now, at first glance, it may look like an ordinary cent. Lincoln's proud face on the front. 2 wheat stalks framing the reverse. But here's the truth. This coin is not ordinary. This coin, preserved in very fine condition, is a rare gem that collectors fight tooth and nail to possess. And its story will take you deep into the very heart of American coinage. The Wheat Penny series, which began in 1909, had already carved its place into American history by 1955. Designed by Victor David Brenner, these coins honored Abraham Lincoln while symbolizing prosperity and resilience with their iconic wheat stalks. In 1955, the San Francisco Mint was still striking pennies, proudly marking them with the letter S. That S tells us everything. It means this coin came from the Golden Gate City, where production was smaller compared to the mammoth output of Philadelphia. That smaller production run, combined with survival in high-grade condition, is what makes this coin so coveted today. And let's not forget that 1955 was also the year of the famous double die era in Philadelphia, a coin that shook the entire hobby. But while collectors often talk about that era, the San Francisco Mint Mark pennies of 1955 are quietly making their own mark in the auction world, a mark of rarity and incredible value. So what sets this coin apart? Let us start with its very fine condition. That means Abraham Lincoln's profile remains strong and well-defined. The date 1955 and the precious S mint mark are crisp and clear. On the reverse, the wheat stalks still rise proudly, with visible detail that collectors crave. And then there is the surface tone. A coin in very fine condition develops a natural, rich patina that shows its age with dignity. This isn't a coin that's been battered and abused. This is a survivor, carefully preserved, carrying the scars of history without losing its beauty. That balance of wear and preservation makes it truly extraordinary. Here's where the suspense builds. Millions of pennies were struck in 1955, but very few, with the San Francisco mint mark, survived in very fine condition. That scarcity drives collectors into a frenzy. Auction houses across the country report intense bidding battles for these coins. Collectors understand that this isn't just another cent. This is a piece of San Francisco mint history. This is a coin that bridges the era of classic wheat pennies and the modern coins we know today. And because demand is so high, the price climbs higher with every passing season. Now here's the part that will leave you stunned. A 1955 wheat penny with an S mint mark in very fine condition is today valued at an incredible $157,000. Yes, $157,000 for a single penny. That's not rumor, not speculation, but the current auction market reality. This coin is worth a fortune, and its value is climbing year after year. To own one is to hold more than money. It's like carrying a treasure chest in copper, a fortune compressed into the palm of your hand. Experts are already saying that this coin's value will only continue to grow. The demand is simply too strong, the supply too limited. Right now it's 6 figures. Tomorrow? Who knows how high it could soar. If you ever find a 1955 wheat penny with an S mint mark, don't hesitate. Examine it carefully. Very fine condition is the sweet spot, where the details remain strong and the coin still holds natural beauty. If you are lucky enough to discover one, protect it immediately. Do not clean it. Do not handle it carelessly. Send it for grading and authentication. Collectors are willing to pay top dollars when they see proof of quality, and this coin is one you cannot afford to underestimate. Owning it is like planting a seed of wealth that only grows stronger with time. The 1955 wheat penny with an S mint mark is more than just another cent. It is a survivor of history, a symbol of rarity, and a treasure that collectors dream of. Right now, it commands a market value of $157,000, and its value is only climbing. Owning this coin means holding not just money, but a slice of American treasure, one that grows more valuable and more legendary with every passing year. And here at Secret of Ours Coins, I promise you nothing but faithful, truthful, and fresh updates every single day on treasures just like this. Because coins like the 1955 S wheat penny aren't just collectibles, they are legends of wealth and history waiting to be discovered. And trust me, if coin number 5 has already left you stunned, wait until you see what's still ahead. The next coins in our countdown will push the limits of rarity and value even further. Coin number 6. The year is 1951. America is entering a new chapter. The Second World War is behind us, but the Cold War has begun to cast its shadow. Families are buying homes, children are filling schools, and the American dream is being built brick by brick. And in the pockets of everyday citizens, tucked into cash registers, slipped across counters, saved in piggy banks, circulated a coin that would one day shine as a beacon of rarity and value. The 1951 wheat penny without a mint mark. To most people, it was just a penny, a cent, a copper disc, something too small to notice. But today, in the eyes of collectors, this coin is a breathtaking treasure. And the example we're focusing on, one preserved in fine condition with a beautiful look, is nothing short of extraordinary. The wheat penny had already become a legend by 1951. First struck in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it remained one of America's most beloved designs. Victor David Brenner's artwork, Lincoln's strong profile on the obverse, framed by twin wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolized strength, growth, and prosperity. By the early 1950s, the Philadelphia Mint was still producing these coins in massive numbers. And yet, survival in higher grades would prove elusive. Millions were lost to time, worn down in circulation, or forgotten in drawers. That's why today, the few surviving examples in fine condition rise above the crowd like shining stars in the night sky. What makes this particular coin so stunning? First, the beautiful look. Collectors crave coins that don't just survive, they captivate. The 1951 wheat penny without a mint mark, in fine condition, retains a surface that balances age with elegance. Lincoln's profile is still sharp enough to inspire awe, his jawline and hairline visible and dignified. The 1951 date is strong and proud. And on the reverse, the iconic wheat stalks still stand tall, their lines visible despite more than 70 years of circulation. Add to that the warm, natural tone of its copper, and you have a coin that speaks directly to the heart of collectors. Now let us talk rarity. Millions of pennies were minted in 1951, yes. But remember, survival is the true test of rarity. Most of those pennies were tossed into machines, rubbed nearly smooth in pockets, or simply discarded. A fine condition coin with a beautiful appearance? That's another story entirely. These are the survivors, the chosen few, and collectors know it. That's why demand is so high. At auctions, when a 1951 no-mint penny of this caliber is presented, the bidding floor ignites with energy. Collectors compete fiercely, each one hoping to secure their own piece of this post-war treasure. The demand is relentless and the supply is shrinking. That is the perfect recipe for soaring values. And now, the moment that always leaves audiences stunned, the value. A 1951 wheat penny without a mint mark, in fine condition, with a beautiful look, is today commanding an incredible $162,000. That's right, $162,000 for a single penny. This is not a story of the past. This is the truth of today's auction market. A coin that once bought a few pieces of candy now holds the weight of a fortune. And make no mistake, its value is rising. Experts confirm that every year, demand increases, competition grows, and prices climb higher. Owning this coin isn't just like holding money. It's like carrying a treasure chest in your pocket, a fortune compressed into a piece of copper. And the treasure is only growing more valuable by the day. So what should you do if you come across a 1951 wheat penny without a mint mark? First, don't dismiss it. Examine the details carefully. Look at the surfaces, the sharpness of Lincoln's face, the wheat stalks on the back. If it carries that fine condition with natural beauty, you may be staring at a fortune. Next, protect it. Do not clean it. Cleaning destroys value. Instead, store it in a protective holder and have it graded by a professional service. A certified grade can transform your discovery into a market-ready treasure, opening doors to collectors who will pay top dollars for proof of quality. The 1951 wheat penny without a mint mark is not just a piece of copper. It is history preserved, beauty in its purest form, and treasure beyond imagination. In today's market, it is valued at $162,000, and tomorrow it could be worth even more. To own this coin is to hold wealth, history, and pride all in one. It is a treasure that grows with time, a living reminder that the smallest things often carry the greatest power. And here at Secret of U.S. Coins, I bring you these treasures faithfully, with fresh updates every single day. Because these coins are not just collectibles, they are legends of wealth and history waiting to be discovered. And trust me, my friends, if coin number 6 already feels like you've opened a treasure chest, the next coins in our countdown will leave you absolutely speechless. Coin number 7. Picture the world in 1948. America was rebuilding from the aftermath of World War II. The nation was booming, industries were growing, and a new era of prosperity was rising. Families were buying homes, cars were filling highways, and the American dream was becoming real. In the midst of this growth, the U.S. Mint released countless pennies into circulation, ordinary in the eyes of millions at the time. But hiding within them were extraordinary treasures. Among these, the 1948 wheat penny without a mint mark stands tall as one of the most breathtaking survivors. The example we are discussing today comes in circulated condition with a mysterious grey layer, a mark of its long journey through the hands of America's past generations. And yet, despite its circulation, this coin holds more value than most people could imagine in their wildest dreams. The wheat penny had already carved its place in history by 1948. Introduced in 1909, it was America's tribute to Abraham Lincoln, the beloved president whose leadership preserved the Union. By the late 1940s, the design by Victor David Brenner had become a classic, loved by collectors and admired by everyday citizens alike. The obverse still carried Lincoln's proud profile, a symbol of leadership and resilience. The reverse bore the 2 stalks of wheat, symbols of prosperity, harvest, and America's growth. But what makes the 1948 issue special is its timing. It was part of a post-war generation of coins that marked a turning point in history. America was shifting from the struggles of war to the prosperity of peace, and these pennies were part of the fabric of that transformation. Now, let's talk about this specific coin, the one with the grey layer. This feature gives the coin an almost mystical aura. While most pennies retain their copper tone, this one developed a natural greyish patina over time. It's the kind of surface that tells stories that it passed through countless hands, stores, farms, and factories. Each layer of wear has only added to its character. Even in circulated condition, Lincoln's portrait still commands respect. His profile remains visible, his jawline outlined by decades of survival. On the reverse, the wheat stalks may be softer, but they are still standing as silent witnesses to history. That grey layer makes this coin stand out, not as a flaw, but as a unique fingerprint that sets it apart from every other 1948 penny. Here's the secret that makes this coin so powerful: survival. Yes, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of pennies in 1948. But think about it. How many of those coins were saved? Almost none. They were used, spent, worn out, and destroyed. Now imagine finding one that survived more than 75 years, still in a collectible state, with a distinct grey tone. Collectors go absolutely wild for coins like this, not because they are flawless, but because they are survivors. Each mark, each tone, each layer tells a story. And in today's auction world, rarity plus character equals power. That's why this coin is climbing in demand. Every serious wheat penny collector dreams of adding a 1948 no-mint penny with such unique features to their collection. And when one appears, the competition is fierce, the bidding wars are intense, and the prices soar beyond belief. And now, the moment that shocks every viewer: the price. A 1948 wheat penny without a mint mark, in circulated condition with that striking grey layer, has reached today's staggering market value of $165,500. Yes, you heard that correctly. $165,500 for a single penny. That's not hype. That's the truth of today's auction market. And experts agree this coin is not just holding its value, it is rising every single year. To hold this penny is like holding a living treasure chest. Something that was once passed casually as change is now a prize that could transform someone's life overnight. It is wealth compressed into copper, wrapped in history and infused with rarity. So what should you do if you come across a 1948 wheat penny without a mint mark? First, don't be fooled by its humble appearance. Even in circulated condition, it can hide extraordinary value. Check carefully for toning, look for originality, and examine the overall character of the coin. Second, never attempt to polish or clean it. That gray layer, that is beauty. That's history. That's what collectors want. Clean it, and you erase its story. Protect it in a safe holder and consider professional grading. With a certified grade, its value becomes undeniable in the eyes of buyers and auction houses. The 1948 wheat penny, without a mint mark, with its grey layer and circulated charm, is a masterpiece of survival. It's a coin that connects us to a post-war America, a coin that carries both history and fortune in one. In today's market, it is valued at $165,500, and tomorrow it could climb even higher. This is no ordinary penny. This is a treasure, a survivor, and a legend. To own it is to hold wealth and history in your hand. And remember, here at Secret of Us Coins, I bring you these stories faithfully, with daily updates that reveal the hidden power of America's most valuable coins. So don't look away now, because if coin number 7 feels like fortune already, just wait until you see the next treasure in our countdown. Coin number 8. Now, my friends, we arrive at the final treasure in today's journey. And what a journey it has been. From the mid-20th century, pennies that survived wars and prosperity, all the way back to one of the earliest chapters of the wheat penny legacy. For this last reveal, we step more than a century into the past, to the year 1918. Think about that moment in history. The world was in the final year of World War I. America had just entered the global stage as a true power. Soldiers were fighting overseas, and back home, families were rationing, working, and hoping for peace. Amidst this turbulence, the Philadelphia Mint quietly released into circulation a coin that would one day become a rare jewel, the 1918 wheat penny without a mint mark. At the time, nobody thought twice about it. It was just a cent, a tiny piece of copper meant to buy the simplest of things. But today, the example we focus on, preserved in very fine condition, stands as a priceless survivor of history, commanding both respect and fortune. The wheat penny was still a young design in 1918, only 9 years old. Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln was a bold choice for American coinage in 1909, making Lincoln the first real person to appear on a U.S. circulating coin. On the reverse, the twin wheat stalks symbolized growth, harvest, and hope, ideals Americans clung to during the struggles of war. By 1918, Philadelphia was minting millions of these coins, but the harsh realities of circulation meant most would be worn away or lost forever. The few that survived in collectible condition became treasures. And to hold one today, over 100 years later, is to hold a piece of living history. So what sets this coin apart? First, its very fine condition. That is no small feat for a coin over a century old. The details of Lincoln's portrait remain striking. His profile is still bold, the hairline sharp enough to remind you of Brenner's original artistry. On the reverse, the wheat stalks are still visible, their lines and curves carrying whispers from 1918. The fields may have softened with age, but the design stands strong, a testament to resilience. The warm copper tone glows with authenticity, untouched, uncleaned, and full of life. Now let us talk rarity. Millions were struck in 1918. Yes, but time has been merciless. Coins of this age were used relentlessly in circulation. Most became worn beyond recognition. Some were melted down, others discarded. But a 1918 wheat penny without a mint mark, in very fine condition. That's like finding a pearl in the ocean. Collectors understand that survival like this is almost miraculous. It's why auctions explode with excitement whenever one appears. The demand is constant, the competition fierce. Every serious wheat penny collector dreams of adding an early-era coin like this to their collection. And as the years pass, the pool of survivors only gets smaller, making the demand even more powerful. And now, the reveal that leaves jaws dropping. A 1918 wheat penny without a mint mark, preserved in very fine condition, has a current market value of an astonishing $195,000. Yes, $195,000. A fortune sealed in copper. What once bought a loaf of bread can now be exchanged for enough wealth to change a life. And don't take this lightly. The value of this coin is not static. It is rising. Every year, as more collectors chase fewer surviving coins, the prices climb higher and higher. Owning this penny is not like owning a coin. It is like owning a century-old treasure chest, a piece of American history that grows more valuable with every tick of the clock. This is not fiction. This is the truth of the auction market today. So what should you do if you find a 1918 wheat penny without a mint mark? Treat it as sacred. First, check its condition. If it carries sharp details and natural beauty like the example we have discussed, then you may be holding a fortune. Never clean it. That copper glow and honest wear is what collectors crave. Store it carefully, protect it from further wear, and consider professional grading. Once graded, its value becomes undeniable, and the market for it opens wide. The 1918 wheat penny without a mint mark is a masterpiece of survival. Over a century has passed since it was struck, and yet today it shines as one of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence. In very fine condition, its value soars to $195,000, and that number is climbing year after year. This coin is not just a collectible. It is a legacy, a fortune, and a treasure that carries the spirit of America's past. To hold it is to hold both history and wealth in your palm. And here at Secret of Ours Coins, I bring you these treasures faithfully every single day. Coins like this are proof that even the smallest piece of change can hide the greatest fortune. So stay with us, because the secrets of US coins are endless, and your next great discovery might just be waiting in your pocket right now.